Well, welcome to week three. Goodness, it seems like we just started this class, but we are ready for week three. And thank you so much for your um, really solid engagement with the materials over the first 2 weeks of the course. Let's keep that up. This week, we're going to be looking at who we are and what we need. One of the crucial ideas to develop in the world of Christian theology is a better understanding of what it means to be a human being. Too often, Christians get so involved in the mechanics of God and how He made the world that we overlook the real theology behind the fact that He did. And once we realize what it means to be a human, we're confronted with the reality of our disobedience and our need for what only God can provide: atonement. So, for this week, very much like those previous, we'll be working our way through chapters 5 and 6 of N.T. Wright's Simply Christian. Assignment 3-2 will be your upload to your response, your Simply Christian response to chapters 5 and 6. You also have a personal Bible review, which I'll go over in just a second, and then a forum. Does the Bible really say how God created the world? And the important word in that sentence is how. Okay. We move then into Unit 2, where we have a voiceover PowerPoint for human nature, then a supplementary reading from another of Tom Wright's books, Surprised by Hope, which you can access right here at the link on the module for week 3. And then an essay for you to write this week. Why does Wright insist, Tom Wright, in this article, that Christians affirm the bodily resurrection of Jesus? So you have two different readings from Tom Wright. You're reading from our textbook, Simply Christian, and reading here from another of his books, Surprised by Hope. Then we move into another voiceover PowerPoint as we move into atonement. What has God done? It's a PowerPoint presentation on the biblical concept of atonement. We have another video from N.T. Wright, Living in Light of the Cross. And then we move into the final unit for this week, Unit 4, Adding Up the Results. You have a link here for the basic questions. How do the ideas of human nature and atonement intersect? And that is another voiceover PowerPoint presentation, which you can find here at the link at 310. And then you have your theological exercise for this week, which is based off of that voiceover PowerPoint. All right. Just want to speak to a couple of your assignments for this week to kind of give you an idea of what we are looking for. So your week 3 forum for this week, which of course your original response needs to be due by Friday before your head hits the pillow. And again, it's does the Bible really say how God created the world? And I want to thank Mergina for going ahead and getting hers in a little early. But this is the one that's due by Friday with a response to a classmate by the end of next Sunday. All right, and we'll move on down here. Your theological exercise for this week. We're asking you to find a person with whom you can spend time discussing the questions and answers presented in presentation 3.10. Seek to discover their understanding of these concepts. And then we're asking you if you think this exercise helps the person with whom you're talking better understand the intersection of human nature and atonement. When I'm asking for an uploading a one-page review of this discussion, double-spaced is fine. Okay, so that's your theological exercise for this week. Moving along, obviously your Simply Christian response for this week. There at Simply Christian response week 3. Let's see, let's move on down here. And this week you've got your personal Bible review. So what we're asking you to do is read in one sitting and without interruption Genesis 1 and 2. And then we're asking you to see what differences you note in the two differing accounts of creation. And then we're asking you if you see a mechanical description of creation or a theological account. And when we say mechanical, we say, um, I don't know if you've ever tried to put a bicycle together or something like that, but or change a tire even, but there's a certain order of steps. So we're asking you, is there a mechanical description? Part A goes into part B, goes into part C, or a theological account. And then what is the most exciting thing you recall from your reading? And I actually have a one that I think is neat, which I'll share with you I'll share with you a little bit later, maybe in the Welcome to Week 4 video. We'll see. So this is the personal Bible review, and that'll be due for this week, and you'll upload that here. All right, and if you're still with me, we've got the 3.7 essay. After you have read the supplementary reading from Tom Wright's Surprised by Hope that we have linked, we again ask you to answer this question. 2-page response due by the end of the week, double spaced. Why does Wright insist that Christians affirm the bodily resurrection of Jesus? That it wasn't just a spiritual resurrection or something other than a literal bodily resurrection of Jesus. Okay. And I believe that's going to cover everything right there. All right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm recording this video on a Sunday. I'm at home. We're having to have Zoom worship this morning. And so I'm going to step away and get ready for that. But just want you to know that I pray for you each and every day. And I look forward to engaging with you in your work. And I hope you are staying warm wherever you are. And if you need anything, reach out to me on Canvas via email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. God bless.